Alright, guys, so welcome to our weekly trading insights. I was supposed to do a weekly trading recap last week, but I didn't have any setup or any trade last week. I did not take any trade at all because market was not presenting me with the good setups that I'm waiting for. And today as well, we're supposed to have our weekly trading insights, and I don't have any good setup to share, but I would like to give a charge. So this session is to, spark our mind, reframe our mind and all that. So I saw a podcast with Jeffrey Benson, popular Nigerian forex trader, and he said something. He said it in PG. He said these things, when you know these things, but on a degree they do them, which means the things that you need to be profitable, the things that you need to get investors, you know them, but are you acting on them? That's what he was trying to say in that podcast. And that's what I want to, try to talk about. You can be taught everything in mentorship. You can be taught, be disciplined, be consistent, be, trade well, do risk management, money management, and all that. But are you acting on all these things? Can you stay weeks, months without trading if you don't see your strategy, or you start jumping from one strategy to another? If I want to define mentorship, we can say mentorship are bad. Probably if you're having bad results, you will say mentorship is bad and all that. But are you really doing these things? If I want to define mentorship, I would say mentorship is the ability to incline into somebody's knowledge, into somebody's experience, into somebody's wisdom without you having to make the same mistake that the person made, which means you are crossing a bridge. So probably the person had so many losses, did forex for like 5 years before he or she became profitable. You coming into that mentorship space, you're supposed to do it in less than 2 years. So you're inclining into somebody's knowledge, into somebody's wisdom, into somebody's experience without having to make the mistake that the person made. One statement, one term, what I call it term, that is stuck with me if I'm talking about mentorship is the wisdom advantage. The wisdom advantage. And what is the wisdom advantage? The wisdom advantage is, the ability to gain experience vicariously rather than having to acquire every lessons through past failures. You get, so that's the essence of mentorship. You are inclining into the person's wisdom, into this person's knowledge without you having to, go through it yourself. Let me spell this word for you. Vicariously. Yes. Which means experiencing or learning something through another person's experience rather than experiencing it yourself. That's the whole essence of mentorship. So incline into somebody's knowledge, incline into somebody's wisdom, incline into somebody's mistakes and all that, and then learn from them. But aside, if you're in your mentorship space, you still have a role to play. Your mentor can bridge the gap for you. He can do all that for you. He can be a shortcut. They said experience is the best teacher, right? So you are inclined to your mentor's experience, which is also a best teacher. So your mentor can shorten the gap for you. He can do all that for you. But you still have a role to play, right? The assignment of mentorship is not to take your responsibility from you, but to, bring it down, subsidize it, to make the journey very easy for you to do. But you still have a particular role to play. You need to act on what you have been taught. If your mentor is trying to tell you to be disciplined, you need to be disciplined. If your mentor is trying to tell you to be consistent, learn, back test, forward test, you need to do all these things, because the results will come when you are acting on what you have been taught, not when you have a knowledge in your book. Knowledge will turn to wisdom when you are acting on it. Knowledge will turn to wisdom when you're acting on it. If you don't act on it, it will just be a body of knowledge. But when you carry that knowledge to, your study room and then try to act on it, it will turn to wisdom. Okay. So no mentor will do the work for you. You can take the horse to the water, but you cannot force the horse to drink water. So we can try to give you the body of knowledge that we have from our experience, from what we have, gone through in the past, and then try to make you not to go through that mistake. But you still have a role to play. You are the one to drink the water. You are the one to take this, what you have been taught back to your study room and then study on them. You are the one to backtest this charts. You are the one to test your strategy if it's working well. You are the one to forward test your strategy if it's working well. You are the one to journal your trade. You are the one to apply risk management. Nobody will place the trade for you. Okay? Nobody will place the trade for you. And this is like a call to other mentors as well. If a particular student don't want to learn and is trying to drag you online, so far you have done your best in trying to train that person, and you know fully well that you have done your best. You can rest. You cannot do everything for every student. You cannot do everything for every student. There's a role that everybody needs to play in becoming a profitable trader. And that's what I want to talk about today. Be disciplined. If your mentor is trying to tell you to be disciplined, there's what he has saying in discipline that he's trying to communicate to you. If your mentor is trying to tell you to be consistent, there's what he has saying, and that is why he's telling you to be consistent. You cannot do this by trying to just act, right? You need to go back to your study room, everything that you have been taught, try to, act on them. Act on them. Try to journal your trades. Are you journaling your trades? Try to do them, because the results that you're seeking for is in the process of acting, not you just, relaxing. Right? If you are taught to apply risk management, take for example the third trade rule that you portion your capital into trade. As you are entering into this new week, try to portion your capital before you even start trading. If you are taught to be disciplined, if you don't see a good setup that is presenting your criteria for your strategy, there's no need for you taking that trade. I've said it times without numbers. If for a strategy to be very, very valid, it needs to have a good system of entry, a good system of exit. So if you have any setups that are not giving you a defined system that you need to see this thing that is defined before you enter this trade. You don't need to jump into this trade and then start praying that this trade will go. No, you need to have a system of entry. What will I see before I enter? And I'm acting on it. Probably I need to see something like a morning star confirmation and evening star confirmation before I enter this trade. So if I don't see these things, I'm not entering the trade. That's the place of acting. Not if you see another candlestick, you see this is a reversal pattern, let me enter. No, your mentor saw something. That's why he's telling you to use this particular candlestick confirmation before you enter any trade. So the results will come in the place of acting. Be disciplined. Try to be disciplined this week. Be consistent. Try to be consistent this week. There are periods of losses. The market is seasonal. So apply risk management. Try to do it this week. Okay? And this is a call if you are trying to trade this week, or if you want to trade this week, rather, try to portion your capital. We're saying it again now. Try to portion your capital. Today is the Monday. Try to portion your capital before you head into this week. Okay, so that if losses come, you still stand in the space. You will not be thrown out, right? So portion your capital into 10, divide them. If you have $1,000, you can do $100, and then try to risk, in portions. You're not just entering the trade with your full capital. I don't want to talk about risk management now, but I liken risk management to you sending your armies out to a war. If you are sending your troop out to any war, you cannot send them at once, but you send them in batches. That's how I explain risk management. So this week, try to act right. The results will come when you act right. There's a place for mentorship, inclining into somebody's knowledge to learn from them, and then try to not make the same mistake that the person made. But apart from the mentorship, there's a role that you need to play. And the role is, acting on what you have been taught. Everything that your mentor has taught you, go back, study them, and then act on them. Okay? You need a good mentor, but aside from a good mentor, you need to act on it. And that's my charge for you today. Try to act on these things that you have been taught. Be disciplined, be consistent, do things right. Do things right. Do things right. Plan your week and then do it right. Okay? And I'm rooting for you and I'm wishing you a consistently profitable week ahead. If there are good setups, I will try to share them during the week on my Telegram